Welcome to the Unpacking Sunday podcast, where we explore what God is speaking to you, to our church, and to the world around us. So grab a coffee, sit back, and let's unpack it together. Hi, Mike.
We're recording.
We are
there
back.
it is. I love the... Yeah, we're back. There you go. Oh, do you know the movie We're Back? It's like from the 90s. It's dinosaurs, like an animated dinosaur movie of like dinosaurs like befriend these kids and they're become like part of the circus or something like that.
We're
We're back. Look it up. It was one of my favorite
I don't
movies.
know,
Oh, I'm going to watch it.
It might just be in the very dark spaces of my mind memory, but
I've got to watch it.
Okay. You go watch it with your kids?
Yeah.
Yeah, sweet.
Wow. There was like one scary scene, I think, like when one of the dinosaurs is getting injured or like poisoned or something.
Okay.
Anyway, great movie.
Interesting. But
I
how are
loved
you?
it.
How was your weekend?
My weekend.
Yeah. It was Father's Day?
Yes, it was.
Mhm.
Yeah, I got a lot of golf things for Father's Day.
Oh, fun.
Because I love golf
this is your
now.
thing.
I love it.
Oh, sweet. Okay.
I just played golf with some awesome people last night.
Oh, wow.
I did not win.
No. Okay.
So shout out to Nathan Hyde.
Okay.
He
Amazing.
beat me by one stroke.
Wow. It's tight. That's tight right there.
I know. And then I was like bragging. No, not bragging. I was just like really talking up hole number 7. I think it's 7. It's my favorite hole at this course.
Wow.
And I was like, this one's amazing. I can't wait till we get there.
Okay.
I shot 9
no.
on that.
Oh, no. That's the way it goes,
I took
though.
2 penalties on that hole.
Shoot.
Anyway, so I did awful.
Oh,
That
my goodness.
otherwise, I would have squashed him.
Oh, yeah. There you go. Oh, yeah. You would have been... If he beat you by one stroke, that means you were like crushing him up until that point.
I wasn't we
Okay.
were like kind of neck and neck back and forth.
What did he take on the hole?
On that hole, I
Yeah.
think he took 6 or something.
Okay,
Like
wow.
that was a maybe 5. I don't know.
I'm envisioning
He's gonna
being there
frame
with
the
you.
scorecard. He said.
Yeah.
So,
Frame it nice.
Yeah.
Love it. That's sweet.
so, but yeah, good weekend.
Awesome.
And I pulled one of those amazing things that I think I talked about on a Sunday. How I not really good with the calendar.
Okay.
So some friends had offered to bring our family to Playland.
Oh, wow.
So I was like, yeah, we would love that. We don't usually go to Playland.
Mhm.
So this Saturday, June 20th, Playland Day. Can't wait. Full day. We got cheer in the morning, birthday party in the morning, and then we were going to go to Playland in the afternoon. So I texted late at night our friend and said, can't wait. See you tomorrow. We won't be there till probably 2 o'clock.
Okay.
And then when I woke up on Saturday morning, I had the reply from them saying, Mike, we're not going tomorrow. We're going on July 4th. And so like I had already told the men I'm not coming go-karting.
Right.
And so I showed the text to Sam and she was getting dressed or whatever. And she just said, I'm going to stay up here in our room while you go downstairs and tell all our kids that we are no longer going to Playland today.
Oh, no.
Oh,
man.
yeah. So anyway, so that was my weekend. We still had fun.
Oh, wow.
And
okay.
we'll go to Playland in 2 weeks.
Well, my plans for the weekend totally changed, and I did end up going to go-karting. So that was fun. So,
Oh, yeah. But I hear we only went go-karting so that Ron could show off how good he
my
is at
gosh.
go-karting.
Go Speed Racer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess he has a nickname. It's like Redline, and it's like he says that been his name for years. Like this is something he does all the time, right? Like we're just making up nicknames. He's like, no, I have like a legacy nickname, kind of Redline for his go-karting or whatever. But yeah, Ron's like F1 racing. My son, this was a kind of a moment for Father's Day. My son, it was his first time karting, and I like when you're in it, when you're driving, going full bore, you're feeling like you're drifting around those corners. I'm like, for me, I'm like, I think I'm the fastest person who's ever gone on this kart, right? Right? Like, I'm the fastest person who's ever been on this track, right? Like, it felt, I felt like I was doing great, and it may be purely body weight, but my son beat me by like 1/100th of a second.
Oh.
And he was like figuring out how to do it, and by his last lap, he did a couple more races than I did, but by his last lap, he beat me by like 1/100th of a second, and listen, like I've been no mercy his entire life as far as Mario Kart goes or anything like that.
Yeah.
Like there will be no compassion from father. This is
these people who let their kids win.
Yeah, no.
we don't
My
need to do
kids will
that.
be crushed until they can defeat me, And so this
It
was a
builds
moment of
character.
defeat where I felt all his like hours of doing racing simulators really paid off, and he was able to
Wow.
figure it out. So, anyways, that
Way
was
to go, Ezra.
but it was humbling. But he had the best time. But also, he has like crazy huge bruises on his back from the chair. So I don't know what happened there, but yeah. Anyways, but it was my birthday on Friday, and then we went go karting on Saturday, and
Happy birthday.
Father's Day. Oh, thank you. It was I got a haircut for my
Yes, you
birthday
did.
and a dishwasher, and I
Wow.
installed that on
How
Friday.
you know you're in your 40s?
Yeah, well, anyways, our dishwasher died last week, so I had to put that in. And then it was my daughter's grad, and I'm like,
You had a busy weekend.
it was crazy. And I
Yeah.
can't believe I thought maybe the possibility I could be playing 8 hours of disc golf for 3 days in a
So
row, in
sorry.
spite of all those sorts of things. So, anyways, I had to back out of the
And then you set
dad
up an
camp.
above
BC
ground
Open.
pool at
Yeah,
your house
so
yesterday.
so we saw that they had them on sale at Canadian Tire, so it was like really, really affordable. And so we bought it, and it says 1 hour setup, which translates into
No,
about
it's
4.5,
not.
5 hours. And they don't tell you in the box that you need like these like concrete paving stones, like you have to.
Right.
And on the box they don't have them, but in the instructions like make sure you have these. I'm like,
Right.
now
So you
I have to
go
go
back
find
and get
them, so
them,
I'm going to
yeah.
like hardware stores and everything,
Okay.
right? Like all those sorts of things. But anyways, our pool is half filled, and and excited about that floating in the backyard.
We can let the audience weigh in on this too, but I think that since you put it into the group chat that you set up the pool, that's like a
It's an
subtle
invite?
invitation to come swimming in it.
Is it? Is it? Well, if you're willing to make the 45-minute drive
I
out.
live halfway to your house.
Yeah, you do. You
Yeah.
do. Yeah, let me know. So yeah, we got to get it finished being filled at this point, but it takes so long.
Oh, that's a lot of water.
Yeah, well, they say it's up to 10,000 pounds worth of water.
It's going to like sink into your yard.
Well, not with those paving stones. So, but yeah, so
Anyway, speaking of swimming, should we dive into
we
scripture?
should dive right in. Well done. You did it again, Mike. Well done. It's like just off the cuff. So we are studying Psalm 103 this week, and Jerome did a great job.
What a guy.
What a guy.
People are already calling him Pastor Jerome.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well deserved, I guess.
I think the whole team did awesome.
Yeah.
The intensive group.
Yeah. You should be proud. They did great. And I felt like, last week everything was set up on the worship end, and they had to change rehearsal night, but we had it all figured out. I just felt like I didn't even have to think about it this week, which was really nice. It was in good hands. So
Did you
good
watch
stuff.
online?
Yes, I did. Well, I watched this morning, so I
see. So you're ready to go for
yeah,
this.
yeah,
Okay.
ready to go.
And
But
it was Father's Day, so Jerome spoke about the love of a father, compassion, things like that.
yeah, it was good. He did a really good job. Yeah. So we got Psalm 103 here. So what was it? Starting verse was it 13?
Yeah, that's
Through
right.
18?
13 to 18.
And I have ESV. Do you want to read it or?
I can read it.
Okay,
sure.
you read it. Yeah.
It says, "As a father has compassion on his children, so the Lord has compassion on those who fear him. For he knows how we are formed. He remembers that we are dust. The life of mortals is like grass. They flourish like a flower of the field. The wind blows over it, and it is gone, and its place remembers it no more. But from everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is with those who fear him, and his righteousness with their children's children, with those who keep his covenant and remember to obey his precepts."
Yeah, I really like how Jerome looked. Was it to First Peter? How he broke down Peter's definition of what fear of the Lord looks like, and it's just like to honor him and to worship him and love him in all things. And it's like I just felt that was a really insightful little tidbit, because I think also oftentimes we can get a little confused by the word for those who fear him, but really it comes down to the fact of if you can place in that word fear and kind of remove our our pre-thoughts or pre-understanding or whatever it is about that. It just comes down for those who just really acknowledge that he is God, that he is in control, that he has good things in store, and that he can completely be trusted. And I think that is such a good image, as opposed to this idea of those who tremble before him or that kind of definition. So with that, for those who really love and acknowledge that he is King and Lord and Creator and the weaver of our story and of time, as a father shows compassion to his children, so the Lord shows compassion to those who fear him. And I just feel like that is there's so much depth there, even just in that first line, to think, you know, how does a father show compassion on his children? I think there is, we both have kids, and we both look at these kind of constant rhythms of our children, and how we're trying to guide them, and like, it's like you don't you don't ridicule your children for their mistakes. You gently remind them and guide them and put them in circumstances where they will learn, and allow for them to grasp these situations over and over and over again until you see the change, right? And I just feel like that in itself is just like the biblical story in a whole line right there. So that was just super impactful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful passage, and I think that Jerome did a good job, like unpacking it. Even though he said himself, and everybody knows, he's not a dad,
Hmm.
but he understands like the love of a father.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, he has one, but
Mm-hmm.
also because God is such a great father. And I loved one thing that he said. Uh, he said like that our earthly fathers, like obviously they are just but a reflection of God.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, oh, that's good. And
Mm-hmm.
like sometimes reflections are distorted or
Mm-hmm.
broken or
Right.
not perfectly clear because
Right.
like none of us do it perfectly.
Right.
But to remember that God is, oh yeah, he said they're the projection. God is perfection. And I was
Mm.
like, oh,
Oh
Jerome,
wow! Look at that.
Jerome, mic
I'll
drop.
put that on a T-shirt.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. But I was like, that's so good to remember
Yeah.
because sometimes people get hung up, and I hear it less, but I used to hear it a lot. People get hung up about God being father because
Mm-hmm.
if you don't have a good relationship with your dad, then
Mm-hmm.
that can be a challenge. But to remember, like, actually, God is the perfect father that you needed. I think that's what Jerome
Mm-hmm.
said.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then maybe another highlight for me, and I think that Jerome did a great job on Sunday talking about this, was in verse 17, where it says, but from everlasting to everlasting,
Mm-hmm.
the Lord's love is with those who fear him.
Mm-hmm.
And I said this when we were reviewing his notes in
Mm.
advance, like, I love a big butt in the Bible. And then we all sang this song,
Yeah,
you
I
know?
like big.
Yeah.
Bible's on, I cannot lie.
Yeah, you got to pay
Yeah,
attention, though, if
yeah,
there's a but in the Bible,
yeah,
because it's trying to tell you something. And
yeah.
so it's so interesting. And Jerome did a great job in where he landed on this
Mm.
is like, yeah, our lives are fleeting
Mm-hmm.
and we are made from dust and we're like flowers who like a wind will blow us away.
Mm.
And it's so crazy that it says actually like, yeah, we're like a flower in a field. The wind blows it over and it's gone, and its place remembers it no more. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're not even remembered where you were standing in the field.
Right,
And that's how fleeting our life is. And then
right.
it says, but from everlasting to everlasting, the Lord's love is with those who
Mm.
fear him. So no matter what our life looks like or where
Right.
we go or what happens or how long it has been,
Mm.
there's this great love of God for us. And I love that Jerome was saying, like, there's never been a day that God hasn't loved you.
Mm.
And so I think that that's remarkable to me. It's like just the comparison between like our ever changing lives and the always steadfast love of God. And perhaps we could learn something about that even as we're reflecting back on Father's Day, or even like what kind of men or women we want to be. That we would be people marked by this kind of love and care for one another.
Mm.
Um,
No,
yeah,
so
I
good.
think that stands out to me a lot. So,
So good. Um, in your life
hmm.
of being a father and raising kids, do you have any impactful moments where you feel like you've understood the love of God more because of how you have been able to interact with your kids or see them? Like, is there an example or a moment or that you can think of where you're like, wow, I get it, Lord. I get, or like I see how you are my father because I get to be this way with my kids, that
Hmm.
kind of thing. You got any stories or something like that that would be impactful you can think of?
I think maybe the thing that stands out to me the most is like the most difficult things, like when you're really annoyed or really upset, or things aren't going well, or your kid has a challenge or has been a challenge,
Mm.
um, I just, it was like a principle that I tried to take up really early in parenting. And I don't always get it perfectly, but it's probably the thing that my wife comments on the most
Mm.
about my parenting. But it's like, I just wanted to go in. That was like my phrase, is
Wow.
move in.
Yeah.
And in all those times where, like, they are so annoying, or like, they're so emotional, or they've messed up the same thing over and over again, or they're talking about a game that I know nothing about, or whatever it is,
Mm.
I just like play that in my head, move in.
Wow.
So like sometimes that literally looks like sitting down beside
Yeah.
them, or
Right.
kneeling if it's Jackson, or
Right.
like whatever it is. And that reminds me of the heart of God.
Wow.
Because like how
That's
many
so good.
times have I messed it up?
Right.
And we have the great initiating God who loves us, who
Hmm.
always moved in,
Wow.
who always like moved toward us and
Wow.
never away from us, no matter how many times we mess it up. And I remember like really young, like I think in my parenting, like
Mm.
I'm still, like my kids are still young, but so I'm still learning a lot. But I think we had taken a course or like read a book or something, and it had talked about this principle. And so I just really took that to heart.
Wow.
And every time, like the harder it is, if you do it, that really reminds me of the heart of God, is like how God just moves toward us. And I
Wow.
think that's what we see is like life is insane, even in this passage. Like it's ever changing, ever moving, never
Yeah.
going our way.
Yeah.
Like even Jerome on Sunday talked about in Ecclesiastes, like the Solomon says like life's meaningless. It makes no sense. He's not saying it has no value. He's saying it makes no sense.
Right.
And it's true. But in the midst of that, when life makes no sense to us, God moves toward us. So I think like, yeah, maybe that's what I would say. That was a long-winded
No, so good.
answer.
That's so
Yeah.
good. I totally, and yeah, I'm gonna take that to heart and remember that too. I'll hear your voice in my head.
Move in.
Move in.
Just move in.
Something that I can really just like remember was these kind of moments when my first child began to start toddling, walking,
Mm-hmm.
and I can just remember this moment where their very attempt was celebrated.
Right.
And
Oh,
so,
that's
she would
Yeah.
just like crumble into a ball and then like with their kind of barely formed little muscles like try to stand up again and take a little step and then
Yeah.
crumble into a ball. And it was like so often we can imagine God in that moment being like, seriously, right? Or like
Yeah.
figure it out,
Like getting bored of watching
yeah,
us.
like
Yeah.
like honestly, you can do better than this.
Mm.
Or in that moment, I think I really grasped the heart of God in a sense where it was like, oh my gosh, you tried.
Yeah,
Look at
right.
you, you're trying.
Yeah.
Like the sense of like the celebrating this kind of meager little attempt, and it was like the most important thing in the moment
That's
in the
really
world in that
sweet.
moment. And that just for me was a real impactful moment of knowing how God celebrates our every attempt to draw near to Him, and He just scoops us up and is like so willing to just kind of like bury his face in our neck, if you will, and like our blubbery little necks,
Yeah.
and, with the gunk in the
The little
folds and
babies. Yeah.
all those things. But yeah, like there is so many moments where we can see the heart of God through just this beautiful design of raising of our own kids, and I'm just so grateful to have that journey.
God is good and
So
God is
good.
kind. And so I think like this Sunday, I think we saw that so clearly in what Jerome was sharing. And I love like even in the end, he said like, if you don't know God, his heart is open toward you. I think that was such a good image that he left us with, and that God is compassionate. And that's how Jerome started too, is like, yeah, our God has authority. That's a characteristic of a father. Like, and he listed a few of these other characteristics, like he's powerful, all these kind of things. But that's not what David chose to tell us about him.
Right.
When he calls God a father, he calls him compassionate. And so I just think, yeah, as a dad, that could be a challenge for like, we should be challenged and encouraged by that. And also, as just children of God, we can remember our Lord is gracious and he's compassionate and he's slow to anger and abounding in love. and he's steadfast from one generation to the next, to the next, to the next. So I think that we can be encouraged, even as we head into summer, and our lives will look different. God is consistent in each thing that he does. We've got a couple weeks left of Acts, and then we're heading into a new series. So maybe before we finish today, you can tell us a bit about it, Luke.
Yeah, we're exploring popular verses that are often taken out of context. So that this is something that we discussed that maybe we would do last summer, and I'm pumped that we get to do this. So it's going to be really good. I think it'll really expand people's biblical understanding and give people a chance to understand kind of the heart of what God was writing in these passages and what the authors like wanted for us to understand. Because so often things can just be kind of thrown out or become a quip or a bumper sticker, and there's so much more depth to be had there. So I'm excited.
So it launches our summer series. That's Out of Context is the title of it, on July 12th. And I'm going to be talking about the verse, I can do all things through Christ who
Yes,
gives
you
me
can.
strength.
So good.
Is that really what Paul meant? What was he talking about there?
And as a little tidbit, I can just throw in our little jingle that I made at the end of the
put it in here.
Yeah, I'll put it in right here. So stay tuned for our next series, and here's the jingle. Unpacking Sunday is a podcast of Revive City Church. If you have any topic suggestions or questions, please feel free to email us at unpackingsunday@revivecity.ca or check out our website at www.revivecity.ca.